students and the students. Please help me welcome him to the stage for a esteemed presenter, Matt Cricket.
Thank you very much. What a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much. So, leadership. What an important subject. So, I would like to start by, let's see if we can get this, nope. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what we have seen up to now is an introduction. Now, I would like to ask all of you if you're awesome. Are you people awesome?
Yes.
Well, then, if you are awesome, I would like you to get on your feet. Get on your feet. Okay. Now, how does someone that is awesome stand? Does an awesome person stand like this? An awesome person walk out like this? Is this awesome?
No.
No. Is this awesome? Not really. Is this awesome? Okay. So I would like you to be awesome. Stand up as an awesome human being, and I would like you to point to yourself and say, I'm awesome.
I'm awesome.
Come on, like you believe it.
I'm awesome.
Awesome. Now, I want you to point to somebody else and say, you're awesome.
You're awesome.
And now I would like you
You're
to look
awesome.
around the room. And look around the room and say, your direction, we are awesome.
We are awesome.
And say, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's ask this at one time. Okay, are you ready? I'm awesome.
I'm awesome.
You're awesome. We are all awesome. Yay! Okay, now let's do it. Like we believe it. Are we ready? Okay, I'm awesome.
I'm awesome.
You're awesome. We're awesome. Yay! Give yourself a try. Good. Okay, so here I am having trouble with my clicker. So, no, this is like, we need to move one forward, one forward. Okay, get out your phone, and I would like you to scan this QR. Okay, and we're gonna ask you some questions. Before we move to see them, let everybody scan it and see if you're in the Menti software. Okay, are we in? Good, okay, look, let's have a look at the questions. Move it over to, there we go. Okay, good, people are starting. So, does positive leadership entail suppressing emotions, seeking to win over others, and manipulate information? Some people say yes. Most people say no. Come on, participate. 36 say no, 3 say yes. Continue, continue, continue. 10 seconds for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Finish. 52 to 5. No. 5 yes. Let's go to the next question, please. Okay. Which of the following is key to building positive leadership? Injecting purpose, building trust, healthy conflict, sharing accountability, or all the above. Okay, so injecting purpose, building trust, healthy relationships, in conflict. Okay, so the great majority say that injecting purpose, building trust, healthy conflict, and sharing accountability are all key to building positive leadership. Very well. Let us go to the next. Good. Why are power skills, before they were called soft skills, vital for a culture of positive leadership? For example, it creates teamship, adaptability, creativity, resilience. What are the words that come to your mind? Yes? What do power skills bring to the party? So you write in the word that you think, or you can write in 3 words that it intends. Okay, so accountability, teamwork, trust. Trust, what an important word. No? So here we see engagement, camaraderie, collaboration, teamwork, accountability, mental capacities, encouragement, yes, adaptability, trust, no doubt. Trust, accountability, teamwork, and a hugely important word, effort. Okay, so here we've got a vision of what it entails. Very well. Let us go to the next one and the last question I want to ask. Next, please. One more. Got it. So, what are some power skills we need to improve to be better leaders in Jamaica? Communication, empathy, confidence, trust. What are we here to learn? What are we here to do? What are we here to change? What are we here to transform? Empathy, trust, communication, accountability. Communication, yes. Confidence. Listening, vision. Listening, adaptability. Yes, no doubt. Respect. What an important word. And here I saw one little word coming up here which says love. What does love have to do with it? Everything, everything, everything. Okay? So, accountability, empathy, communication, trust, respect, decisiveness. No doubt. Very well. So, honesty, trust, communication, empathy, decisiveness, vision, accountability. Accountability. Well, thank you very much. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Give yourselves a big applause for having participated. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation. And let's see if our clicker is working. And if it is not, I've got a prodigious hand back there, which is helping me with this. Okay, so why do intelligent people sometimes act so foolishly? Have you ever seen intelligent people act foolishly?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, what's behind that? Could you move it forward, please? Good. In a very schematic term, humans have 2 brains. 2 brains, yes. A survival mind that operates on fear, stress, anger, guilt, shame, and insecurity, which leads to a fixed mindset, rigidity, self-sabotage, and irrational behavior. On the other hand, we have a growth mind, a mind that operates on empathy, curiosity, creativity, passion, purpose, which makes us resilient, proactive, and collaborative. So, what is positive intelligence? the subject of my talk and why is it important. Positive intelligence is a measure of the strength of positive mental muscle. Our brain is a muscle. It is a muscle if we work it properly and become strong. And we also have a part of our mind which we can work, and it gives us saboteurs, okay? So positive intelligence is this focus of how I am able to make my mind stronger, to take good decisions, and how that part of my mind that takes me to act foolish, how can I dominate through positive intelligence and have a positive mind? Yes? Next, please. Okay. So what have we got here? Here, we have our mind. It's got an event that comes into our mind. And all of a sudden, this event, it can go one of two ways. It can tell us this is bad. It can tell us I need to be fearful. Or it can go in another direction to where this is a gift. So, where do we want it to go? The difference between human beings and other creatures is that human beings have the capacity to decide. So, I'm going to teach you today a secret to where when your mind is starting to go off in a direction that is sabotaging your capacity to lead, be successful, that is taking you someplace to get angry, you get frustrated, you learn how to bring yourself to the present moment and decide how you want to react. This is huge. And things as simple as just putting your fingers together, paying attention. All of a sudden, the world changes. You become present. You have the capacity to decide in which direction you want. Okay, we go to the next slide. So, we have different perspectives. The stage perspective, that mind that helps us to be able to see things positively. It says every outcome or circumstance can be turned into a gift or opportunity. Now, every outcome can be turned into a gift or opportunity. And you can say, good gracious, there are things that happen in life that are not gifts, that are not opportunities. And let me tell you here and now that you are wrong. If we do not learn how to transform everything that happens in our life into a gift or opportunity, we will be cursed by fear and by doubt. If we go to the next one, please. Let me tell you a story. This is a folk tale of a Chinese village where you had a farmer who had this wonderful stallion. And one day he decides to put the stallion in the local fair. And there's a contest at this wonderful stallion. And the neighbors come and they say, oh, you are so lucky, your stallion won first prize. And he says, who knows what is good or what is bad? And all of a sudden, the people, the stallion won, what's he fighting? Well, there's a couple of thieves out there that say, oh boy, that is a wonderful stallion, let's go steal it. So they steal the stallion. And the neighbors come and they say, oh, poor you, poor you, poor you. You lost your stallion, they stole your stallion. And he answers, who knows what is good and what is bad? Now, the neighbors are starting to say, what's wrong with this guy? Well, this wonderful stallion, he manages to break loose from the thieves, and on his way home, he befriends a bunch of bears. And he arrives home, the wonderful stallion with all the mare, and all of the neighbors come and say, good gracious, how lucky you are. And he says, who knows what is good and what is bad? Now they're saying there's something wrong with this guy. Now every time that we come and we see him, he comes with his what is good or what is bad. But his son, okay, 18 years old, is on a mare, trying to break her, throws him off, breaks his leg, and the neighbors, your neighbors come down and say, oh, your son broke his leg, this is terrible. And he says, who knows what is good or what is bad? Now, this is a very eventful little town. Next week, war breaks out. And the king sends to get all the able young men to take them to war. But they do not take this young man because his leg is broken. Now, if a neighbor were to come and ask him, what would he respond?
Who knows?
Who knows what is good and what is bad? So, what is good and what is bad? Well, the question is, our saboteur says this is bad. The sage says this is a gift. So, the answer is, what you believe becomes true. Think of it this way. We live in an intelligent universe, which provides. Now, if you ask it for pain and suffering and horrible things, it will provide. If you ask it for love and wealth and beauty, it will provide. So ask intelligently, and you will receive. Okay? Next, please. So we've got the three gifts that you can either receive a gift of knowledge, a gift of power, or a gift of inspiration. Next, please. A gift of knowledge. Okay? A circumstance. You lost your best client. You got fired. Okay? Now, how do you turn this into a gift of knowledge? Well, you need to ask yourself, what knowledge would I need to gain so as the payoff of the future to be much larger than what it is costing you today? So you got yourself fired, okay? How do you turn that into a gift or opportunity? Boy, I know about how not to get fired. I'm going to start studying. I'm going to start learning. They have given me that push I needed to become awesome. Lost the client? Same thing. You can start losing clients little by little because of the bad service. But here all of a sudden, it wakes you. Let's go to the next one, please. Now, power. How many of you have people in your lives that bring out the worst side? Let me see your hand. Absolutely, no? That's saboteur. So, how can we turn this into a gift or opportunity? Well, all of a sudden, if you start saying, this person that really gets on my bad side, I am going to use them as my trainer. And every time I get closer to this person, I start using my positive intelligence not to get high. And all of a sudden, I'm able to face life from a position of knowledge and power that changes everything. So all of a sudden, that person, I said, oh, good gracious, what a horrible person. You see that person and you smile. Oh boy, now I have the opportunity to become stronger. Okay? And the third. Please, let's go to the next slide. Inspiration. Commit to an inspiration action that would what's happened if this bad thing had not happened. Okay? And treat this as a gift. Next, please. You remember Superman? Yes, you remember Christopher Reeve? What happened to Christopher Reeve? Absolutely. Now, when they asked Christopher Reeve to talk about this situation in his life, you know what he said? He didn't say this is bad. He said it's the best thing that's happened to me in my life. And what's this? Good gracious. Paraplegic is the best thing that's happened to me in my life? Well, for him it was. Because all of a sudden, he had the opportunity not to be a cartoon character. As a paraplegic, he worked very hard to start recuperating some mobility. And he became an inspiration to people in the worst moment in their lives. All of a sudden, this became a gift of life, a way to love, in which if this bad thing had not happened, his life would have not been as fulfilled as it was. Next, please. Let me tell you my story of why I'm here with you today. This kid here is my mentor. My son Matt, who died of cancer a few months after this picture when he was 20 years. At that time, I was CEO of an international corporation. I was not a leader, I was a boss. And when my son gets sick, he said, Dad, I basically called him and said, Dad, you're the only one who can help me. I got a little hospital where they let me spend the night there and take care of him. And when he asked me to take care of him, I said, yeah, it's my job. I was the typical guy at the job. Okay? This is my job. And every time he was all with tools and stuff in there. One of his small pleasures of life was to be taken to the bathroom. So he would say, Dad, take to the bathroom. I would get up, I would go to the bed, bring down the handlebar, bring down the bed, get him up, and take him, pushing all of these different apparatuses. I would sit him down, lean on the door frame, two, three little drops, and I would get him up and take him back. Down, there. And this would happen once, twice a night. But this night it was the fourth time that it happened. And I was back on the sofa bed. There he was. Dad, Dad. And all of a sudden I started to feel frustration. I was tired. And all of a sudden here is the dad again. Get up. And all of a sudden, like if it was a cold shower, it came upon me. There is my son in his bed, needing me to help him. And I am here, saying I'm tired. And in that moment, I understood the principle of compassion. And I got up so quickly. My son, let me help you. And for the 2 following weeks, I was there in body and mind. Because I had understood it was not about me. It is in serving others that our life has meaning. And then I had my slogan that was sell more products to more people for more money in less time. And I said, is that what you want your tombstone to say? And I said, good gracious, no. And I fired myself and I started a new life to be here with you, to talk about how to develop our greatness, how to stop that useless suffering. And you say, okay, you lost your son. The worst thing that could happen to someone is to lose their son. But I turned it into a gift of love, a gift of knowledge, a gift of purpose. And there are cultures that believe that their children choose you as their parents. And I feel comforted when I think that my big boy chose me as his father to teach me the principle of life. And it was his life. It was a good life. And I'm fortunate for having that. Let's give him a applause. Next, please. So, leadership in crisis and safe perspective. Next, please. So, I'm resilient. I turn everything into a gift or opportunity. So, please write down some gifts and opportunities that can come out of the passing of Hurricane Earl over Jamaica. Write down some ideas. Think of one back. Okay. Yes, okay, 30 seconds more, just write what comes to mind. How can we turn this into a gift or opportunity? Okay. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so I would like you to get up and in groups of 3, share what you have written down. Okay? How you would turn Hurricane Earl into a gift and opportunity. Okay, get up in groups of 3 on your feet. Come on. I need you guys to move around. Up you go. Okay, so I want you to think of a number from 1 to 10. From 1 to 10. Think of a number from 1 to 10. Now the person that has the lowest number goes first. Okay? So let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, order. First person has 30 seconds to share their thoughts. Let the time run. Good. Next person, participant number 2. Let it run. How do we turn this into a gift or opportunity? Good. Third person. Start. If you turn on the mic, please. It's on? Okay. Who would like to share what they learned? Yes? Good. Okay. What came to mind? Uh, Can you hear them? I don't listen. I can't hear them. Can you turn up the mic, please?
We were able to test the integrity of our homes as well as infrastructure.
Okay. Good. Something else?
And not to be more prepared actively as opposed to reactively.
Yes.
A return to humanity and a remembrance of Canada to be more crushed.
Let's give them a star. Yes. What did we learn? How can we turn it into a gift and art?
Good afternoon, team members. We talked about how we form new friendships by simply caring for our neighbors as close as that, and caring for community and of course the region, because the region was affected. We talked about how our competence, our capability to build better the structures from roads to homes, houses, etc. So our alertness, awareness of what we need to do in rebuilding has sharpened. And lastly, we talked about the global village, that caring that is inside of us, that has been silent. We're so busy. We miss the cues of the quality of life. And so it's unearthed through adversities. And we're better for it. We're talking more. We're collaborating more. We're building stronger and better nations of the nation.
Yay, well, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, one last one back here.
In our brief conversation with the we have learned to value the things that we take for granted. So this is the things like the water. So we learn to conserve. We also learn to be resourceful, the things that we have. And also what came out from the conversation was that ability to just extend self and to share with neighbors. So one person mentioned about what she has. She went across to extend to someone in school without. So that are those simple things that we really would have learned along the way. We might have been taken for granted. It caused us to go right back to that.
Strong applause, please.
You know what we would see is that everything can be turned into a gift.
Okay, well, one last.
One last one, thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
So when it comes down to the opportunity for us, we thought about our personal and the national preparation, how we can take that. For example, in our cases, we're saying, have we really thought about our roof? What do we have in place to secure our roofs? The next thing we talk about is if electricity goes, but do we have a generator? Do we have any glue with some ice? What is it that we have? There was also the opportunity for us now to be someone said over there, reaching out to our families and persons in our community, it forced us to check on each other. So after very response, I think we should be better for it.
Absolutely. Let's start with Austin. Everything can be turned into a gift and an opportunity. And here we have a huge opportunity. For example, well, last night I was listening that several years ago there was an earthquake. How do we prepare for the upcoming earthquake? Okay? Let us use this moment as a moment of wisdom to be able to go forth and prepare for that will happen. We do not know when it will happen. All that we know is that it will. And if we're strong, it creates a great experience. So, next, the secrets of self-command. Okay? Next, please. So, what I would like you to do now is I'm going to teach you some very simple exercises that when our mind is taken off the saboteur and we want to come back. For example, just rub your thumb and forefinger together with such a tension that you can feel the finger ridges on both fingers. Okay? I did a little TikTok on this, and it went viral. Over 10 million people saw it, and there was over 100,000 comments. Because people have not been taught how to take control of their mind. I think it's very difficult. You put attention to this, okay? And now take one hand and run it slowly over the other hand, over the fingers and the palm of the other hand. Feel all of the sensations. Did you see how the room all of a sudden becomes quiet? How all of us are present? Yes? Next, please. Next, please. Okay. So now it's not just, you can be in a meeting maybe and you don't want them to see you doing things with your hands. Listen. Try and hear the furthest sound that you can hear. Okay. Now, I want you to listen to the closest sound that you can hear. And if you never listen to your breath, listen to your breath. Awesome. Next. Now, we're going to exhale to the count of 4. Okay? And we're going to inhale to the count of 4. And I'm going to put some sound. Okay, and I want you to notice your chest or stomach. Where the breathing goes in. Please, next, please. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now, pay attention to the temperature of the air as it enters your nostrils and the temperature of the air when it exits your nostrils. You'll notice that when it enters, it is cooler than when it exits. When it exits, it's warm. Okay, now I would like you to inhale deeply Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you exhale, I want you to say, ah. Okay, are we ready? We inhale deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Let go. Oh. Yes. Thank you. Next. So, this positive intelligence stuff is working around the world. For example, the city of Los Angeles, the Office of the Mayor, has set up an initiative where they launch various programs aimed at improving emotional intelligence and resilience of city employees, including the positive intelligence training. And what has been the impact? The city employees develop greater empathy, provided community skills, and better emotional resilience, which enhance public service delivery. More positive citizen interaction and increased employee morale. Okay. This stuff works. Next, please. In the United Kingdom, the Department of Education, they put together an initiative of the implementation of mindfulness in schools. The project, MySP, which trains teachers to develop mindful education. What happened? Students developed greater focus, emotional regulation, and stress management skills, which resulted in higher student engagement, better academic results, and a reduction in anxiety. Next, please. So, positive leadership in the 21st century. Next, please. The difference between a boss and a leader. A boss defines objectives unilaterally, seeks to win over others, manipulates information, uses extrinsic motivation, and suppresses emotion. Now, I don't know you, but this was me. This is what I was taught in business school to do. And I was a master at it. Okay? What is the difference between a boss and a leader? The boss talks more than he or she does and does not necessarily lead by example. How many bosses have we seen that talk a lot and do very little? Let me see that. All of you are much too high. So, what does the leader do? The leader guides by setting an example. The boss, his or her power lies in the position, while the leader's power lies in the ability to inspire. The boss gives order, assigns, and criticizes, while the leader coaches, empowers, challenges, and measures. And finally comes a measure. And the boss operates on numbers, while the leader reaches those numbers based on vision and values. Two different worlds. Next, please. So, the 4 pillars of positive leadership. Inject purpose, build trust, create a culture of healthy conflict, and promote shared accountability. Let's go and see each one. So, the role of a leader is to inject meaning and purpose. Meaning and purpose, yes? Into the work, and thereby building a culture and a spirit in the organization. These are key words. Culture. Culture is what creates a group It has a common meaning. It's about infusing values, passion. It's about moving from transactional to deep meaning. It is about teaching, not just the what, but the why. When people understand the why, we live in a world where everyone is telling us the what, and it's the why that moves our minds. So the leader must inject purpose. Next, please. The leader must build trust. The leader must walk the talk. The leader must go first. Next, please. He or she understands that loving herself, loving himself, is essential to loving the other. And this is something that a lot of us don't understand. A lot of us feel that we need to give ourselves to others as a sacrifice, and not necessarily loving ourselves first. What did Christ say? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. As you love yourself. So we must learn to love ourselves, and to love ourselves, we need to have tough love with ourselves. We need to be demanding with ourselves. And then we can have tough love with the others. Next, please. We must grow constantly, okay? And that helps other people to grow. Next, please. We must build trust by being authentic, vulnerable, and human. Now, the big change between the boss and the leader is that the boss does not show vulnerability. The boss hides behind a facade of being perfect. And people are turned off by it. And in the intimacy, a lot of bosses have imposter syndrome. Okay? So, vulnerability. What happens when you're vulnerable and human? The people around you see you as human, and they want to be a part of your team. And what happens when you're vulnerable? You become vulnerable. What else can they learn about you that you have not already told? And that sets the base so that we can demand from each other our greatness. Next, please. And so, this helps teach others to open up, be vulnerable, and care for each other. Next, please. So, we must create a culture of healthy conflict. Conflict is a part of life, okay? And we must learn to teach people how to have that conflict positive. Next, please. 3 different styles that do not work. The first, the lose-lose of the avoider, the win-lose of the hyper-controller, and the lose-win of the loser. Let me go on each one. Okay? Avoid. No, I do not want conflict. Okay? I avoid it. What happens? It will come and bite me sooner or later. Okay, so that's no good. Then you have to loss. I said, no, another person, okay, you win, I lose. And then you've got the person that thinks that by being so good, by giving so much, when they need something, they will come to the rescue. It does not work that way. You must be good and give, and you must demand to receive. That is where the equation is. Next. So, understanding and teaching the foundations for win-win. Next, please. We must learn to empathize. When we put ourselves in the other person's shoes, all of a sudden, things change. Next, please. We must explore. And maybe we think that the other person is totally off base, has no idea. Let's give them a 10%. Maybe 10% of what you say is true. And when someone feels they've been listened to, they start to listen. Just 10%. And then finally, start to innovate. Start to explore. Start to co-create that future together. And all of a sudden, conflict becomes positive and we grow. Next. Finally, we must share accountability. Next, please. Being a positive leader requires setting goals, boundaries, and responsibilities. Next, please. We must define expected behavior and non-negotiables. Next, please. We must make explicit the rights and obligations of being part of this group. It's about being a word that I love, which is care-plantation. I am going to confront you with loving care, care-plantation. And finally, next please, making clear the roles and expectations of expected behavior of each member to achieve together the transcendent vision together. Strong groups work because they have a vision, and because they measure, and because they demand. They do not accept mediocrity. And that's what really makes a great group. Because when we let things slide, all of a sudden things, it's not great. But greatness is something that makes us grow. And when we demand from each other, if you want to have really strong groups, peer pressure is the strongest type of education when you have good values within the group. Next, please. So, in closing, I would like you to close your eyes. And I would like you to put your hands on the top of your head, okay? And slowly start sliding your hand down over your face. Feel the touch of your fingers on your forehead and on your eyebrows. Continue over your eyelash. Very, very soft. Feel your eyelash. Now move down your nose and finally reach under your nose and put your fingers under your nose. And breathe and feel the temperature of the air as it enters your nostrils and exits your nostrils. How the warm air is exiting while the cool air is entering. And then continue your journey by gently sliding your fingers now over your lips and feel the extraordinary sensitivity of your lips. Enjoy the symphony of sensation. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, say, oh. Okay, now relax and keep going down over your lips, arrive at your chin, and then down your neck, and finally put your hands over your heart. And stay there for a moment, just breathing and being present. Contemplating and being grateful. Grateful for the gift of time. Grateful for this moment. And grateful for the gift of today. And the generosity of the Mind Institute of offering you this. I thank you very much. Next slide, please. If there's any questions, we've got 5 minutes to go. I am here for you. Have we got any questions? What was the question? How do we get?
Great afternoon. How do we get our bosses to participate?
How do we get?
Cooperate, to come on out to an event like this?
Okay.
How do we get them to share the ego and take it back? And this thing we call life.
Yeah. Okay. How do we get our bosses to cooperate? Well, start off by bringing them here to mind. Yes. And learn from this type of experiences. Because being a boss is a very lonely position. So we need to help bosses to become more human. And if you don't bring it to mind, as you become a better person, as you learn to model these sorts of things, the bosses will start paying attention to you, and you will start educating. So it is fundamental that we teach from the top down and the bottom up. We must start creating a culture within our organization of resilience, of positive intelligence, where we become strong and we create a structure under the bosses where the bosses can start to have confidence that things will be done properly. And then bring them in. Because they will come in. I mean, bosses are there because they act because they're scared. Yes? And when they feel that the group around them is supporting them, all of a sudden you can open up that dialogue. For example, talk with the bosses about vulnerability. Tell them, invite them to a session where you share your life story between you. And then you ask the boss, hey boss, would you share a part of your story with us? And all of a sudden you pull your culture. You start creating a culture of openness, of responsibility, and of making things happen together. And that will bring the boss. And if you finally have a boss who does not come in, well, you'll be prepared to go find him. Okay.
Questions?
Good gracious, I have been so eloquent that nobody has any questions, or I've been so boring that I put you all to sleep.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I really enjoyed the presentation and I really have this one. database. So we spoke about how you helped him, but how did you handle that? Being in a position that you were in, leading and handling the database. So
Well, one more time, what was the question?
the question is how you handle the identity of yourself.
Oh, that's my question. Um,
Well, why leading? Why leading?
while working, as a corporate leader, I realized when to jerk up. Okay, I realized that the way I was handling life was totally superficial. That I was seeing people as things, not as people. And that my life as a corporate leader, just making sure that we made the quarterly earnings was a very unsatisfying life. So basically what my son did was that he opened my eyes to the importance of my humanity. And I had to leave that corporate world to rediscover myself after that learning experience, to then come back to the corporate world and be able to take other leaders, which are positions as a position I was in, and help them to learn, go, do, and to become true leaders that people want to follow. So it did not happen within. I had to leave to discover myself, then be able to come back. Thank you for the question. Applause.
Oh. Thank you, thank you. So usually these sessions really causes us to take a step back. Because we're all leaders in here. And, you know, question that was asked earlier, if we get over leaders, we appreciate responsibility because we are leaders. And so how do we internalize, how do we reflect on what has been shared, and then how do we model the way? And that's what our leadership development programs seeks to do. Having benefited from the positive intelligence course, more hours than just this hour and a half. I find that I also have to have an accountability partner because in this chaotic world, when everything is happening, when do you step back to do some of the tools that you have shared? I know I remember having an experience where one of my staff said to me, "Don't know that Trina is doing working based on a response that I give," and it reminded me. So it's hard work, but it's really great work, but it makes life better. And I want to say thank you.
Right.
So
Right, thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
and you will be served lunch. Yeah.
So, so go to the stage and let me just introduce this. It's our introduce me and then okay. So it's a
Please, I'm going to invite Dr. Tracy Arnold to share some of the topics and we'll be discussing during lunch. Yeah. So it's a working lunch.
It talks about being blessed. So I don't know how to eat. I'm not standing in the way of you eating, but I need you to stand up if you feel like you're blessed. Well, blessed to be here. Blessed to be a part of this community. I need you to stand up if you're blessed. Please get the music going and act like you're blessed. Blessed to be here. Think about this conference is about leadership excellence. This is about us showing up for each other. So what we're going to ask you to do as a part of the table talk is basically to talk about what you can do differently. What can you do to express how blessed you are just to be here? Have you heard anything that was about who you are? Sir, I don't know what the music. We're good. So what we want you guys to do, we can have a seat to the side. What we want you to do during your lunch is to sit with you and think about what you heard today. We heard people talk about collective accountability. You can raise your hand if you feel like you're accountable for success. Raise them high if you feel like you're accountable for the success of this organization. If you're a leader and you're here, thank you very much. You're here because you recognize that you are the system that needs to change. Is that correct? Are you the system? Hello? Are you the system? We each are the system. So we're going to ask you while you're at your table to really share what are those things that you can do differently to create success, to create that level of excellence. And then 15 minutes before lunch is over, I'm going to be coming around with the microphone and asking each table or people from the table to identify what can they do to truly create leadership excellence. So have that conversation at your table. Just know this is about you. This is not about us on stage. This is about you. The success that comes through this organization is going to be because of what you all do. So we're going to ask you to talk about it and think about it, and then we're going to ask you to report out 15 minutes before lunch go. So enjoy your lunch. I'm not saying between you and food, enjoy your lunch, but use this time to connect with on your table to think about what can you do differently. What can you do to truly create success? Thank you.
And be observed by yourself. Oh. Yes. So let's see. You need to start with it. You know the Caribbean countries that you pledge. You do. You've been away too long. So the Ingrid is volunteer. Yeah, so that's why I want to get Have you met James? I remember you had a story about something party. Yeah, I'm sure, including clearing the woman's dining table.
So that's what excites you these days. Listen to me. There's been a time when I didn't know the answer. It's not something. Oh, that's a no. Well then. Is there another? Is that not it? No.